No. All right, there you go. You're recording.
Let's do it. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy August. I am really excited to be here with y'all. We've got the start of the school year in a few weeks, which is wild to say the students will be back. So just for next meeting, just be cautious of the fact that we'll have a lot of foot traffic on campus, same with parking to and from. So just give yourself a little more wiggle room time when the school year starts. But we're really excited to have you today. Today's meeting is pretty short and sweet as we have a professional development opportunity with Captain Scott Ellis today, thanks to our professional development committee. And so we will kind of kick it off with the official start of the meeting as 3:01 p.m. Call the meeting to order, and we have met quorum. And we will need to approve the meeting minutes from July. So can I get someone to move to approve the meeting minutes from July? Thank you, Senator Culpepper. Can I get a second? Awesome. Thank you, Senator Hodge. All right. I'm going to I'm sorry. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Wonderful. The meeting minutes are approved. Tyson sends his well wishes to us as he is traveling back from being out of the country on a donor visit. And we will go right into reports for the committee. So let's start with membership. Come on up. And if you can stand right here with the mic, that way our online viewers can listen and hear y'all. Stand like that.
Hey everybody. Pretty obvious I'm William and not Julia. We worked on our charter goals, and one of our procedures will be to review bylaws and to become familiar with current procedures, review staff policies and procedures of SEC and other South Carolina institutions, and compare them to the way we do our Senate and see if we should do some changes or maybe we're actually doing better. Probably not. We'll review the current onboarding process and materials for senators elected in midterm. And we're going to review the apportionment of senators to determine whether or not any changes need to be made. So some schools have a lot of representation, others just have like one person. So we may look at expanding that in the future. Then we'll do the elections, review and revise as needed. Process for election, the timeline and process for elections. Prepare to hold officer elections. And then for spring of 2004, membership procedures. Recommend any updates to the bylaws related to the operation of the membership committee. Recommend any new changes to the appointment of senators. Further develop onboarding modules and checklists for senators elected in midterm. Manage the executive board elections process for officers and manage the general body election process for senators. We also had our first meeting on July 18th, and we discussed our goals and how we plan to accomplish them. Since that meeting, myself and Julia had met with Jessica Mackey to get a preliminary understanding of the current state of membership procedures, including the review of other staff Senate procedures, the current apportionment of USC staff senators, and the staff Senate election process. Our next steps will be getting access to the election voting system, reviewing other university staff Senate procedures, and beginning any discussion for recommendations of amending our membership procedures and apportionment of senators. Our next meeting will be next week on Tuesday, August 15th at 2 p.m. on Teams. I guess that's it. Who's next?
Any questions for membership? Awesome, thank you. All right. Communications.
Good afternoon. Our communications committee updates. We did have our first meeting same day as most of y'all, July 18th at 9:30. We are meeting again next. Let me make sure I got the date. August 15th at 9:30 a.m. on Teams. But in our first meeting, we did set our goals. Overall, kind of what our committee is improving communications across campus. So one of our main focuses we've decided on is kind of do a little bit of an audit and make sure that all staff members are getting the necessary communications about really anything. We know some of our staff members on campus aren't ones that have their phones on them all day or are checking emails. So how can we reach those staff members, whether it be by bulletin board, digital signage, putting flyers in a break room or whatnot. So we'll be really reaching out to all of y'all to make sure we're touching every bit of campus to make sure we're reaching all staff members. So that's kind of our big overarching goal. That also includes obviously regular updates to the website, making sure our meetings, minutes, everything are posted, maintaining social media presence. Right now we're on Twitter. If Twitter goes down, we're going to pivot to, don't know yet, but we'll let you know. And then also we did already have, Thom just told me today, my co-chair, that we have met with our communicator for facilities, Kobe Paget, who is over a lot of digital signage on campus. So he's going to share a digital signage managers, maintainers with us, which could be some of you, so that we can maybe get up a QR code or something.
Hello.
Staff members can regularly scan that to check meetings. So already making waves, but definitely our first meeting next week. We'll be really establishing how we're going to go about doing an audit of all staff members on campus. The other thing is the website is updated. So if you sent Jessica your headshot that you chose from orientation, that headshot should be on the website. If you did not send a headshot, if you did not choose a headshot yet, you can go ahead and just send it to me and I'll get it edited and cropped for the website. And if you need a headshot still, our office communications does headshots every so often. And I don't remember the date right now, but we'll put it in the Teams chat of when that next headshot opportunity is. And I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Next up, staff policy and well-being.
Good afternoon. We met, as most did, on July 18 and went through a few items of discussion. First was our charter. We will be changing a few things in that and aligning it what we will be doing for this year. A few areas of interest for our committee members are going to be ADA, equal pay, well-being, mental health, compensation benefits, leave policy, wellness and onboarding, work-life balance, class and comp study, Headspace app, dining services for staff, as well as continuing efforts with the ombudsman for staff and sharing benefits with constituents and overall wellness.
And we'll be meeting, our regular meeting time for the first semester will be the third Friday of each month at 11 a.m. And we were glad for our first meeting to have Carolina Gardy, who's an ex officio member of our committee, join us as well. And she updated us a little bit on classic comp and on the ombudsman position. But I think that's it.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. All right. Professional Development Committee. You might have to, yeah, you're good. I'll grab it for you.
Thank you. Like most people, we met on the 18th of July, and we are going to meet next Tuesday. So we reviewed our charter. We talked about our individual interests. Some of our goals are just continuing on the work of last year's committee, but that includes compiling a comprehensive list of all professional development opportunities, surveying all of you all, and consideration of your constituents for what is the professional development needs and wants for staff across the university. That survey was done last year, so we're going to review the results and then update those, and maybe reaching out to you all again. We're going to do a meeting with the Office of Professional Development to understand their mission, their goals, things that they may have challenges with, and see how we can partner to improve those. We're also going to seek new resources for on-campus training and professional development of staff, as well as professional associations and organizations. And then we're going to partner with the Office of Professional Development to create that staff survey. Again, maybe modifying some items and adding new things. So as another update, I put it in the Teams chat in the general Teams account, but the Office of Professional Development came out with an August 2023 newsletter. The link is in the Teams chat, but there's a lot of really cool professional development opportunities. You could attend as early as tomorrow via webinar. So there are leadership academies and other things that are coming up that are pretty time sensitive in terms of registration and things. So if you want to send that out to your constituents so they can register and they can pursue those opportunities in leadership academies, or if you're interested in signing up yourself. So please feel free to share that. You may have received it, but sometimes people don't read their emails. So you may just want to highlight that again when you send out the meeting minutes to your constituents. So if you have any questions about that, or have any things that you think would be valuable to add to a survey about professional development, please feel free to send those my way.
Awesome. Thank you much. Okay, community projects.
Okay, we have a few updates, and we had our first meeting on July 19th, and we were super excited that our group came with so many ideas. So we've decided to zone into a couple, and hopefully by the end of the year, we'll get to all of them. I don't know, but we're going to do our best. So, but thank you to our committee because they came engaged and ready to go. So we basically, our first meeting, tried to kind of get everybody involved in some kind of role with our group, whether it was coordinating volunteers or keeping minutes or logistics or volunteers, just to kind of get everybody a role. And so that's worked out well. And then we have 3 things that we're kind of focused on right now. Do you want to? Okay. So the first one is the pull tabs for the Ronald McDonald House. Some of y'all may have done this in elementary schools and PTSO and all. So Amanda got these fancy little containers. If you'd like to take one back to your area, we put a label on it, says, donate your pull tabs to help USC Staff Senate support the Ronald McDonald House. So every month when we meet, if you'll just bring your little container, and we'll have a larger container we can dump in, and hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have, I don't know, 100 pounds worth, and we'll go and donate that to Ronald McDonald House. That's just a simple thing. You don't have to have this special container. If you have a container in your shop, I can send you the handy dandy logo, and you can just print it and cut it and put it on yours. So, but we do just ask everybody, try to at least put one out in your area so we can try to do that. That was something simple that we could do right off. And then we also, Tyshawn, Senator Dow had a suggestion with Richland 1 school district where we are adopting a couple teachers And yeah, I'm still learning names, so Terrence Gilmore, yes. Also had, some background with the district as well. So we are adopting a couple of teachers. You'll get some information about that next week. They are going to share with us why they became a teacher, and we're going to have like a list of things that we can donate and collect at the next general session. General session, and that we will then take and present to those two teachers. And then the third thing is Service Saturday, and I'll let Margie.
Thank you.
Really exciting.
All of this is exciting, so thank you for supporting us.
So save the date, October 28th. October 28th will be our day of service with the Leadership Service Center. And we're really excited about this. I reached out to the office this week to find out if they could work with our group, because usually they don't reserve spots or sites for large groups, but thankfully they're going to work with us so we can all serve together and volunteer together. And we'll get more details out to you, closer to the time. We'll have like a Microsoft Office link where you can RSVP, just so we know who all is coming, and then the committee will keep up with correspondences and stuff after that. But there will be a form you'll have to complete on the leadership website, just answering a bunch of questions and if there's any special accommodations that you may need for the day of service. And we'll work out other logistics, like if we should take our own car, ride the bus, and all of that. So more information will be coming, but it will be October the 28th. And there's no home USC football game that day either, so that will be nice. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
And our next meeting is next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Can I ask a question?
Oh, yeah, questions?
For your school supply drive, I've heard from a lot of teachers that they actually would prefer another drive, like at the end of the year into January when everything is run out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can definitely put that on our docket too, because we've got quite a few more things still coming. So, yeah, we can definitely do that. And we partnered, Senator Dow had a connection with Richland One, and that's like in our backyard here. So that's why we started there. So yes, thank you. Great idea.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. All right, bylaws.
All right, hello, everyone. We had some robust conversation as the bylaws committee at the end of last month. So we actually have some issues that we're going to present for a vote to you all. So we're
not voting, we're informing.
We are informing in the next meeting, we will vote. Yes, but it will get to a vote eventually. Okay, so the first thing that is, I think, easier is we would like to make our two current ad hoc committees, the Awards and Recognition Committee and the Scholarship and Fundraising Committee, permanent committees. So that is the first thing on our agenda. And then the other issue that we currently are facing is that there's really nothing to do in the case of a tie in some elections for senators, and then also my battery's running low. Nothing to do in case of a tie, but there is some verbiage in there about what to do in case of a tie for like officer elections. So essentially we want to combine some of the verbiage from what to do in case of a tie for officer elections into senator elections as well. So let's see. It'll read, in the event of a tie in the election of any senator, a runoff will be held between the tied candidates. This runoff will be held within 2 weeks of the stated deadline of the original vote. If the tie is not broken after the runoff, the candidate with the longer time of service to the university will be designated as the winner. So it just outlines what that runoff process would look like and what to do in a tie.
So just so you are familiar with the bylaw process, this is for you to think about, consider, talk to your constituents. They'll also be in the minutes written so that you can read them there, and then we will come back for discussion and a formal vote at our September meeting.
And if you have any ideas for things that you like or don't like in the bylaws, send them our way. We're a small committee vote. We can talk a lot.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, staff awards.
Okay, bear with me. Okay, so we had our first meeting on August 1st, and our vision is to execute a USC Staff Day to recognize all staff and to execute the second annual staff award ceremony. So our goals for the fall are to review the awards criteria and qualifications and determine if any changes are needed or if we think they're fine. Confirm a location. I believe last year it was in Capstone, but we're going to see if we can branch out a little bit. Develop an all staff draft resolution to recognize staff, and then work with internal USC lobbyists, senators, House of Representatives to get a designated day in the spring of 2024 to be the USC Staff Recognition Day. And hopefully we can make that line up in order to have the all staff recognition day on the same day. And then we need some support for the cost. So y'all start asking people for money. And some activities. So think about something that you might enjoy, food, and then possible giveaways to motivate people to come out of their offices and join the fun. And then our next meeting has yet to be determined because we're still working through the doodle poll to figure out if we can all find a day and time, which turns out harder than you think for 4 people. So join our committee.
All right, and fundraising scholarship.
So we don't have a report because we did not have a meeting yet. It's still just a committee of myself. So if anybody would love to join, I know there's somebody out there that would love to help with fundraising and the scholarship committee. Please let me know and contact me. Thanks.
Thank you. So with the committees, I just wanted to reiterate with the potential of these staff awards and the fundraising and scholarship committees becoming permanent, that would do a reallocation as well of staff members or staff senators then to each committee, which will be great because we do have a couple large committees that can kind of break down. So if you are interested in any of these or want to just put yourself outside your comfort zone and learn something new, please go ahead and do that and think about joining because we will be looking at that when it comes to how many people per committee, especially if we add 2 more committees on the docket. Do you guys have any questions with what's coming up? Yeah.
Yeah, so if we add 2 more committees next month, I assume.
Yes.
Is it going to affect immediately? Is it a time situation? Do we get reallocated immediately or how would that?
I think, and I'm going to speak for myself here. My vision would be that obviously first it has to be approved and then getting with the executive committee to kind of relook over the staff allocation and or interest. We might put another interest form out to the senator group to say, if you can tell us, your preferences. And then we kind of go off of that again. But I don't think we'll shake up too much. We are hoping, again, if you are interested or if you're on a big committee, I'm thinking like communications is pretty big, staff policy well-being, just any of the bigger committees. If you are okay to pivot, letting us know, and you can let us know ahead of time and you let me know ahead of time, and I'm happy to keep that in mind in case, so that way we can have a quicker move. But there might be a moment of, waiting time period, just patience as we figure out who kind of goes where. But we'll make sure we reach out to you if you're a selected senator for the new groups and if you're okay with that. And if not, we'll work through it. So great question. Thank you for asking. Yes, you can also be on 2 committees. That is completely okay. Now, obviously we want balance with what we do every day in our work. But if you do have the capacity and you do want to serve on anything else or sit, especially if there's topics of focus that you're passionate about, that you're not on that committee, please join and connect with your colleagues in here for being a part of the different committees or efforts that you're passionate about, because you don't have to just stay siloed. We don't want that. And another added point is just to make sure you talk with your constituents and invite your constituents, your staff, to be a part of this stuff, especially if there's passionate staff out there that really want to help focused on a certain topic, and you can connect them to a different senator in the room, bring them to staff senate, have them be really immersed in it and be a part of the discussions, because that's what it's about too. We can't all do this alone. Cool. All right. EPMS update. I am your representative. I'm switching with Dr. James because she had a conflict with her class schedules that she is teaching this fall. So I'm going to be your person on the now EPMS refresh committee. How many of you participated in the focus groups? Good amount. Okay, cool. How was it?
Very
Informative? Good. So this feedback was so crucial. And the committee, and it was my first committee jumping in, and they were just talking about the themes that were coming out that they want to explore, and then really kind of moving forward with the refresh of what does the scaling system look like for EPMS, what does, and this again is at a state level. So it's really working with the new state shifts that are happening, and then how do we implement that on our campus? What does that look like? Is recognition or other items actually tied to this document or not? And so they're really deep discussions. There is nothing that I can share at the moment because they're just going through the themes, but I will keep you all updated each month on how that is going, and then hopefully inviting our other colleagues across campus that are in charge of this to come and speak to Staff Senate when they have something substantive. Cool. All right, I'm going to invite the Professional Development Committee chairs to introduce our guest speaker. So, this is a closed meeting, so I apologize. I'm going to ask someone to move to adjourn the meeting. Awesome. Thank you, Senator Duvall. And a second. Thank you, Senator Culpepper. The meeting is adjourned at 3:26 p.m.
You got it. Ask everybody.
Oh. Do you, all those in favor of adjourning the meeting? All those opposed? Wonderful. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Yeah.